Hello, welcome to my video. That's going to be way faster than typing this all out. So, what I would love to share with you is that Zoe and I went to Paris to get her graduation dress, and it's been a dream of mine for almost 2 decades, and mission accomplished. We did it, and her dress is spectacular. So, that was very exciting. There was a couple of parts of the trip where it was not smooth and graceful and easy. And one of them I wanted to share with you because I thought I had some great learnings. And whenever I go through something that's really challenging, I always think, well, at least I could blog about it. Then maybe I can learn something and maybe someone else can learn something too. And so thank you for showing up to get the learnings from my experience. So at the end of our trip, we almost missed our flight. That is the short story in a nutshell, but the adventure is much more interesting. And here's what I want to share with you. So overall, one of the learnings is that often when I'm super scared or terrified about something, in retrospect, it ends up being hilarious. So from fear to fun. And man, if I could just remember that when I'm actually in the fear mode, that's in a little while, maybe even just a few hours, this is going to be hilariously funny. That would help tone down the fear. I did not remember that this time. So lots of learnings here for me that there are things for me to work on. So yay! All right, so a few days before we were going to leave Paris, I checked. So I used my phone to navigate all through Paris, and it was amazing. So I type in where we needed to go in the Maps app, and then it would say get on this metro and walk this long when you get off of there and go to this metro and get on in this direction and get off at this stop. It was so helpful. So I checked my phone from our hotel, and it said we would be able to get to the airport in 15 minutes. And I thought, wow, why did our taxi take so long on the way here? But okay, never mind. 15 minutes, that's great. We'll have plenty of time to get to the airport. So on the day that we were leaving, we finished up packing and we had a leisurely morning. We found a great place for lunch. We were finishing up our lunch, and so we went to the bathroom, and I just had a little nudge check how long it's going to take from the airport or to get to the airport. And it said an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm like, what? We needed to leave a while ago to be there 2.5 hours ahead of time. We were going to need to book it. So we finished up, went back to the hotel, got our luggage, and zipped over to the metro station where we went down into it. It was one that we hadn't been in before, even though we'd been in a lot of them. This one was new, and we went to buy the tickets. There was nowhere to buy the tickets. There was no booth with a helper. There was no machine on the wall, nowhere to buy tickets. And we just kind of wandered around going, what do we do? I don't know. And I tried Googling, like, where do we get tickets at this station? Nothing came up. And so we just like emerged from underground, like bewildered little groundhogs going, okay, I thought maybe we can walk to another metro station and get directions from there. So we started walking, and across the street I saw the name of the metro station that we had been at, and it said billet, so tickets. And I said, oh, that must be it. So we zipped over there, went down the longest escalator ever, found a ticket window. Who knows why it was set up this way, but we couldn't take the metro from there. It was actually an RER station, so they're two different subterranean navigational systems down there, but you can buy tickets and take a metro, you can take an RER. So we got that, went back up, went down to the other station, got on the metro. Whew, thought that we had navigated the hardest part. No. So we got on the metro and got off at an RER station, and the RERs are a little bit different. I think they must be for longer trips, like out to Euro Disney or out to Giverny, which is Monet's place, but we hadn't taken an RER while we were there. So we got off at an RER station, and it said, my phone said, get on this one. And the information on the screen looked very different from what it said on my phone. I'm like, Zoe, we can't get on that one. I don't know if it's the right one. We just need to wait here. And I need to do a little bit more research. So that one came and went. I figured it out, and yep, that was the one that we needed to be on. So another one came, it was not the right one. 12 minutes later, the next one pulled in, and time was of the essence here, but I figured, okay, 12 minutes, it's not too bad. We'll still be able to get there with some time to spare. And what was fortunate was while we were waiting, there were announcements happening and they were a little bit garbled, and I speak French, but it had been a long time, 20 some years since the last time we were in France and I had spoken French that much. So I listened to the announcement, didn't quite get it, but I saw on the screen flashing that the stop that we needed to get to at Charles de Gaulle Airport, we needed to go to CDG 2, and apparently that was under construction and only CDG 1 was open. I'm like, not sure what's going to happen there. That's a little bit scary. But I guess that's just like life. You think you're going somewhere and then plans change and you just have to trust that you'll be able to get to where you need to go. So fortunately, I had time to see that announcement, kind of digest it, figure out, okay, well, we'll just watch people and see what happens. So hopped on the RER 12 minutes later and realized, oh, it's going to be like at least half an hour. So we ate our last croissant and our last pain au chocolat and looked out the window and enjoyed watching the outskirts of Paris go by. So it was quite scenic and beautiful. And I kept listening for the announcements, trying to figure out what we were going to do. And then there was an announcement that came on that wasn't about that location, and I didn't really understand what it said, but basically we were making an unplanned stop at a station that wasn't even on this route. And so we stopped, and then we just sat there and sat there and sat there, and it didn't seem like there was any reason that we were sitting there, and I couldn't figure it out. So just had to, okay, we'll just sit here and wait. And did lots of central channel breathing to keep calm. And Zoe read her book, and eventually we started going again. It seemed like a really long time because time was of the essence. And then eventually we pulled into the airport and we got to CDG 1, and I looked around as through the different trains, and oh, it looked like some people were staying on the train. So I thought, okay, maybe I was mistaken. Maybe we can get to number 2. But no, they just didn't understand French. They got herded off by people who did. And I didn't know what to do at that point. So everyone left and we kind of just followed the cattle as we all emerged. And I must have been looking bewildered and not knowing what to do because this lovely French gentleman said to me, oh, just follow everyone else and there's a shuttle that will take you to number 2. And I thought, oh, look how supported I am. Like, I didn't even ask. And someone just gave me some calming information. So we went through, got on this metro shuttle to take us to number 2, got to number 2, and on my phone, it said that we needed to be at 2F. So we got off, and it seemed like we were at 2G, according to the signs. And my phone said, okay, so now you need to get on this bus, and it's going to take you to 2F. So we waited for the bus, found the spot to get on, and hopped on the bus with our stuff. And there was a map on, like up there, and we could see, okay, it's going to take 8 minutes to get to the terminal, and we could watch where we were going. So the bus went to 2A and 2B and 2C and 2D, all the way around to F, and it took, I think 8 minutes was only like 2A to 2B, and then there was another 8 minutes and another 8 minutes, and it took so long. And at one point we're at 2E, and I thought, okay, good, we're going to get to 2F next, and it's right there, I can see it. But no, we went all the way to the airports, and then the driver took a break, and we sat there and sat there and sat there, and by this time there's probably like an hour left before our flight was leaving, and I was definitely getting a little bit stressed. But we did have this beautiful moment where the doors opened, this breeze started coming in, and I was wearing this, I was hot because I was dressed for the plane, and I didn't know what it was going to be like on the plane. So the breeze started coming in, and the bus was pretty much empty, except for us, I think. And these beautiful maple leaves were blowing in the breeze, so that was a good moment. And then finally the doors closed and we got going again. We got off at 2F, which was the destination, and looked around, and Zoe said, I think we're back where we started. And I said, yep, we're just going to ignore that we just spent 45 minutes on a bus we didn't need to be on, and we're going to find the gate for WestJet. So we started walking, and there was no gate for WestJet. Nothing. And it didn't seem like there was even anyone to ask. There were other airlines and lineups, and like there was no one to ask. And then I started freaking out, like, we don't even know where we need to be. Are we even at the right terminal? Are we even at the, like, at least I knew we were at the right airport, but there were other terminals, like, and then Zoe went to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to figure something out. And I got onto the WestJet app and tried to chat with someone. That didn't work. I tried to go on their website. That didn't work. I was trying to call. That didn't work. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. There's no one here to ask, and I cannot get the information that we need. So I looked at my tickets that I had downloaded, and it turns out only one of them had downloaded instead of two, and they had no information on them. They didn't have the terminal, they didn't have the gate, they had nothing, which I'd never seen before. And Zoe came back from the bathroom. I'm like, Zoe, I don't know what to do. Our plane is leaving soon, and we are nowhere near, like, I don't even know where to go. And she said, maybe we call Daddy. I said, he can't help us. It's the middle of the night there. How's he going to help us? We need to figure it out. And I started hyperventilating and panicking. And then she said, Mommy, breathe. So, thank goodness I told her that a million times so that she could reflect it back to me in a moment when I really needed it. I started breathing and had the idea, okay, I can Google which gate we need to get to. Like I can Google where WestJet is in Charles de Gaulle. So I Googled it and it said 2E. And I thought, okay, 2E is right there. I can see it. We need to walk over to 2E. And we looked out and there was nowhere to walk. But I think the only reason that we ended up getting on the bus was that in between 2E and 2F, it said in the picture that you could walk in 5 minutes from 2F to 2E. So I knew it was possible, but it didn't seem like it was possible. And I'm like, we need to get right over there. We need to get right over there. Our plane is leaving from over there, and I don't know how to get there. Zoe, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And my mind went a million miles forward and went, we're going to need to buy new plane tickets. How much is that going to cost? And we're going to need to get a hotel. And Zoe's not going to get back to school at the time that she said. And it was just a lot all at once because, man, when my brain moves fast, it moves really fast. And I kept saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I said, I need help at one point. And Zoe's like, what do you think I'm doing here? And she wasn't as concerned as I was because she didn't know that the plane was leaving at 3:15. She thought we needed to get there to board at 3:15. So she was not panicking at all. And by this time, there's like half an hour left. And I could see where we needed to go, but no way to get there. We weren't going to get on the road and walk into oncoming traffic with our suitcases. So it just seemed impossible. However, I knew that the bus said that it was possible. So Zoe said, let's go this way. And she found a staircase and we went down to what was arrivals downstairs. And at least there was a way to get across there through a budget rental car place. So we're like hauling our suitcases over meridians and barriers and running and walking. And it was so hot and I was totally sweating. And we ended up getting to the other side. We made it. And we were at 2E. We ran up the stairs with our suitcases to get to 2E. And then I was just wandering around, running around, going, where's WestJet? So we said, it's right here. And I never would have seen it. I was so panicked. And so she saved the day. Thank goodness. And like I said, usually I can handle this kind of stuff, but not in this situation. I really didn't handle it at all. And so we ran up to the gate. They said, where are you going? I said, Calgary. And they said, you're very late. And I said, I know, we were lost. On était perdu dans l'aéroport. We were lost in the airport. And we took our suitcases to get checked. And the guy said, these might not make it today. Like, you're very late. And I said, it doesn't matter. Just take them. We'll get them when they get there. And we were about to run through over to the customs check your passport type place. And one of the employees said, come with me. I'll walk you. So we were so late that we got escorted through security and we got to go through like rock star treatment with the pilots and the flight attendants, and they just glanced and stamped and away we went. And then I got the clue from this WestJet employee who was walking not very quickly that it was going to be okay. She didn't seem frazzled. And then we had to go onto a whole other metro to get to the gate, the series of gates, so 2EM. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're getting escorted because I would not have figured this out quickly at all, especially with the hyperventilating and panicking. So we got on there and then she said, when we got off, go through the actual security where they check all your stuff and then go to the gate. So we got through security. That went relatively smoothly. And then we got out of there and we had to go to M50 and we were at like M0. Completely other end of it. Was at the very end of the whole place, and we got through and started walking. I'm like, oh, look at all the shops and all the fun stuff and all the food. This would have been great, but no, we just had to zip along those moving sidewalks, moving as fast as we could. Got to the gate, didn't even have time to go to the bathroom, but did end up in a little bit of a line, so it's not like they shut the door behind us. But when we got on the plane, I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, universe, for helping us. And I said to Zoe, after I thought about it for a little bit and calmed down and did lots of central channel breathing, I said, when I said, I need help, I wasn't talking to you. You were being very helpful. I just needed to invoke some extra help to get us through. And she said, oh, okay, good, because I was doing my best. I'm like, you totally saved the day. So my learnings are, if we can remember that in the moment when something feels like it's not working, it's probably going to make a great story, at least a little bit later, that in the past has helped me calm down. It didn't in this situation, but another reminder. So let that cement in a little more. And then I did feel like asking out loud for help, something shifted. And that's when I had the idea to Google that where WestJet was. And it was just like, the other thing is, it's just like life, you know, like you think you're heading in one direction and then, nope, not heading in that direction. I'm like, okay, where to go? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, one idea. I can act on that idea. Got this one idea. Okay, now we're going here. What's next? I don't know. Is it going to end up okay? I don't know. But here's the next idea. And it was just one thing to the next, to the next. And so it was like just this little microcosm of how life works at a very accelerated rate. And what an exercise in trust. And, you know, asking for help out loud. That's how we invoke our guardian angels and our heavenly helpers. So I don't usually do that out loud, and it just burst out of me and made Zoe question me and my sanity. However, I know that it made a difference. So that's what I learned. I hope that this was helpful for you. This is the second time I've recorded this because the sound didn't work the first time. So thank you for sticking with me. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye for now.